It's a win for Salmi. They've one run in this match. It's a big six. Karachi have won.
It's a young franchise, but they've done it. Take it down, Grenadier. What a stab!
What can possibly beat the thrill of a chase? In recent days, Pindi Cricket Stadium has witnessed two of the all-time great T20 knocks as elusive targets were hunted down. First up, Jason Roy produced a blistering assault on the Peshawar Zalmi bowlers as he made an unbeaten 145 of just 63 balls to keep Quetta Gladiators' faint playoff hopes alive.
What a knock from Jason Roy. He's brought Quetta Gladiators back to life.
And then last night, Raleigh Rousseau broke his own record for the fastest century in HPL Pakistan Super League history as he plundered 121 off just 51 balls to clinch Multan Sultans' place in the playoffs, with the hapless Zalmi once again the victims.
Raleigh Rousseau has broken his own HPL PSL record.
What lies in store tonight when the Gladiators and Sultans do battle in this batting paradise? One can only guess, because on this ground at least, 200 plus is the new normal, and the chase is always on.
Well, it is the last evening game here in Pindi, match number 28. And a lot to play for in this one as Quetta Gladiators take on Multan Sultans. The Multan Sultans have arrived after a terrific win last night. Raleigh Rousseau was the star of the show. And Quetta Gladiators will be looking to win, and not just win big. Naseem Shah, he's been one of the pick of their bowlers. Let's not forget Jason Roy. How good was he for Quetta Gladiators? It's going to be a fabulous contest between two very good sides. Hello and welcome to Pitchside. Like I said, a lot at stake here in terms of the game. Quetta taking on Multan Sultans. Multan Sultans high on confidence after that win. Quetta Gladiators, well, they've got to win this one, and they've got to win this one big. But earlier on today, we had a fantastic women's game as well, a series that's been won by Amazons, and what a fabulous initiative, these women's exhibition matches. And to talk more about that, I've been joined by Waqar Yunus and Darren Gagga, all smiles here in the studio. Waqar, what a fabulous women's game we've seen. Amazons were successful. You know, they've been making over 200 runs, and we saw some monstrous sixes by Chamari Arapatu. All in all, an entertaining game.
Yeah, it was my first game, and I honestly enjoyed it to the max because, you know, saw some beautiful batting, saw some good bowling, good thinking. The captains were very, very thoughtful, the way they just sort of maneuver their field around, the wicket taking, everything was just superb. And I think we deserve going next year or whenever next we play, we should get more games. We should have more international girls coming, players coming from overseas and playing these sort of games. I mean, the pitch was good, brilliant, 200 runs. Who thought that this will happen? And really, really happy for them. And overall, girls cricket is just going uphill.
Uphill it is going, DG. I mean, you saw some entertainment with that 100 from Chamari, but then some other brilliant performances. And it's nice to see somebody like Danny White come in Pakistan, score some runs. Also gives a bit of exposure to some of the local talent that we have here.
Very much so, and that learning process will help in the development or faster development of the local players. When you could rub shoulders with some of the best in international cricket, you learn different ways of approaching the development of your game as a player. So congratulations to Bisma Maroof. I think it was more of a collective effort on the part of the Amazons for them being able to lift that trophy. The fact that we had the Superwoman winning first and then the Amazons bouncing back, it showed that both teams were evenly matched. And the quality of cricket, the fact that MI2T scored a century in a high-scoring affair, again proves that Pakistan's cricket and women's cricket is on the rise, and it's another, I would say, stepping stone for it to sort of take an upward trajectory in terms of progress and development.
Let's talk about then today's game then, because this is an important one. Let's pay our attention to that. Waqar bhai, before we get to that, let's have a look at the table first to see, because this is what it's all about. You know, we're talking about this game and why it's important. Well, this is why it's important. Multan Sultans are on 10 points and they have an opportunity to finish in that top 2. Quetta Gladiators, on the other hand, are on 6 points and they need to win this one, and then they need to win this one by a huge margin, which will help them secure the top 4 spot for the playoffs. Really is an opportunity for Quetta Gladiators. I want to touch upon them. I mean, you saw that innings by Jason Roy the other night. But what do they need to do, Waqar bhai? Because this is an important game. It's a pressure game. What do they need to do today to take them over the line? Not just take them over the line, also qualify.
Yeah, they need to win by a decent margin to get into the top 4. It is not going to be straightforward for them. They have to really play out of their skin. They have to play better than what they played in the previous game, although I thought they were just outstanding in the last game. You know, Jason Roy's inning, the way he played, he took the game away from the opposition. So, you know, there's plenty to play for. They should not feel, that they're out of it. But yeah, from where they've come, they were almost out of this tournament before these last couple of games, and suddenly the form comes, the top batters come into form, and the bowlers getting their rhythm right. And I think once they got their chips together, I think they're looking good. But as I said, it's uphill for them. Just think of winning first, and then probably think of Peshawar, what they do tomorrow, and see where they end up. But it's a big game for Quetta.
Multan Sultans will be high on confidence, like I said, DG, after that win last night. Riley Russo chasing, over 240 runs, and what an innings that was.
Yeah, and it's only the second time that they won chasing in this year's HBL PSL. So they have shown balance to the way they've gone about winning matches. Riley Russo batting at number 3, single-handedly have won this side, 2 or 3 matches. So again, they can't have that over-reliance on him. He's an exceptional player. The way he powers the ball, the way he scores in quick time, as a left-hander, he hits the ball in sort of unique pockets, and it's a very difficult batter to bowl to. That is why he's succeeded in this edition and overall in the history of this HBL PSL. So I expect that he will come out again in back-to-back matches and give his best. It's not easy playing back-to-back T20 matches with high intensity. Again, evidence of where his strengths are. If you come too close, he'll hit you leg side and he will get maximum, but he's also a very good offside player. He's not one-dimensional. Although we're seeing a lot of balls go leg side and straight down the ground, you really can't bowl him offside as well.
Yeah, he's a difficult batter to bowl to when he's on song, Waqar. I mean, we've seen that from him time and again, but just a little recap of how things went yesterday. 242 for 6 is what Peshawar Zalmi made. Babar Azam amongst the runs once again. And in response, Multan Sultans were able to go over the line courtesy that wonderful 100 by Riley Russo. Well, one thing is for sure that we've seen lots of records being broken yesterday, lots of personal milestones as well. Let's have a look at the numbers game. There you have it. Jason Roy and Riley Russo are in the top 3 of the highest scores of the HBL PSL. Riley Russo just yesterday with that fabulous knock, and Jason Roy for Quetta Gladiators, 145 not out, both in this very year, 2023. Tells you a bit about the pitches that we have here in Pindi. I mean, we're just talking about the fact, DG, that you've got the highest scores here, both in Pindi. In fact, I think I want to ask that question to Waqar Bhai, because you wouldn't want to be a bowler in these conditions. I mean, where do you bowl here? It's a genuine question.
No, it's more than a genuine question. It is a tough one, to be very honest. I think the best deal is that you have to have your fielders in the right position and then bowl to that field position. What is happening, what I've seen from the glimpse, I've just seen the shots, the sixes, the boundaries Jason Roy and Riley Rousseau hit, is just that when you bowl that length line, this pitch allows you to get under the ball, and these guys, they stay nice and low and then get under it. That's why you see more sixes and fours go on the onside. So either you got to really go nice and full where they can't get under it, or if they get under it, it goes flat and there's an opportunity for a catch. So it is a tough gig for the bowlers, and they'll be very pleased leaving Pindi after this game, because from here on we're moving to Lahore after tomorrow. So it is a tough one for the bowlers, and I feel really sorry for them.
DG, it's tough to choose one, but which was the better century for you? Was it Jason Roy or was it Riley Rousseau?
For me, it was Riley Rousseau. Why I say that is because of the situation that his team was in. They had to win to ensure qualification, so they were under a little more pressure. When you look at Jason Roy and the manner in which he batted, Quetta Gladiators, they were steering non-qualification. If they didn't win, they didn't have a chance of going through to the playoff round. So they had nothing to lose. So I think when a team can play with that sort of wanton freedom, it gives batters more of an opportunity to perform, because there's no fear of failure. And I feel that is something that they'll use to their advantage in this encounter, because they know they have nothing to lose. They got to keep their hopes alive. They have the opportunity and the license to play with freedom and aggression. But I'll give credit to Riley Rousseau. The fact that he broke his own record by scoring a century in just 41 balls, that's impressive, very impressive in T20 cricket.
That's quite incredible on Multan Sultan's part. Riley Rousseau was absolutely magnificent yesterday. But on that note, we'll take a short break and we'll be back very shortly. They say catches win matches. We saw some brilliant catching in the deep by Kieron Pollard. More on that from Aaron Holland with Simon Dewell.
Look, boundary catches can win you matches, and the real speckies can live rent-free in our minds and the highlight reels for years to come. My word, we saw an absolutely amazing catch from Kieron Pollard on the boundary last night to dismiss a very dangerous TKC. So I thought Simon Dewell should teach us all how to boundary catch. What are the principles, and what did you like so much about the Pollard catch?
Well, they've got two we're going to look at very shortly, but first and foremost, you've got to catch the ball. That's the first thing in your mind. You must make sure you catch it first. Everything that transpires after that is a consequence of catching the ball and trying to keep in play. We're going to show you Kieron Pollard from last night and Lauren Winfield Hill from today, from the women's game. They're going to roll these together. Now have a look at this Kieron Pollard one. The thing I like most about it is his balance. For a big man, he's got an amazing ability to leap in the air, create great balance, and then bring the ball back into play so quickly and catch it. And I love the little forward roll as well. It's a lovely little celebration there. Lauren Winfield Hill, slightly different. We'll get to this shortly, because she gets sideways on, which I also like. She knows where the boundary rope is, or the boundary advertising is, the whole way through that catch. So I really like that technique too. So you come into Lauren Hill, she's side on, so she's coming in here. She knows exactly where this boundary is all the time, taking the catch. You can tiptoe around the boundary, no problems with that at all. So the side on one, I think you can see, you can give as well when you're going two hands with side on. That's always a good thing. The Pollard one, let's go back to it. I mean, look, it's one of the best we have seen in the tournament so far.
It was unbelievable. The balance, the core strength, the ability, the sense of mind to know where he was. There's a lot to break down. So first and foremost, if I want to learn how to boundary catch, where am I starting?
Well, you're starting with the eye on the ball first and foremost, okay? And if it's late in the game as well, like it was with Kieron Pollard, they're not tending to walk in. Normally we say all boys and girls walk in with the bowler, walk in with the bowler. You're not going to do that late in the game when there's fours and sixes required. you're basically going to hang on the boundary. So he's there, he's seeing this ball coming, he's got to leap, he's got to get out of the field. Can we try? Vincent, come on.
Oh, here we
Give
go.
us a try. We're going to try and do one.
This is live television. Whoa!
We couldn't
We're bunny
quite get
hopping
there.
around
We
the
couldn't quite
boundary
get
here.
there.
Wait, should we do that once more time?
Yeah, one more time. We'll give it one more go. Come on, Vincent. We can get up.
Here we go.
Nice and high.
Up.
Oh, that was a bit easy.
That was a bit easy.
But the
Go
key
again.
is, right, once you're out here, if you want to throw it back in, you've got to go out and back. Can't have your foot outside. There's so much going through your mind when you're trying to do this. The other thing is, think about the fielders around you. So often you've got another fielder. If you're going out, you can actually throw it to another fielder and then get out of the boundary. I'm going to go out here, throw it to you. There you go. That's out as well. So those are the keys. Look, first and foremost, you've got to catch the ball. That's the main thing about it. And whether you want to be back to the boundary, then you've got to look over, or you want to be a Lauren Winfield Hill and side on. I don't mind either way. You've just got to make sure your feet are always inside.
And that's where that mental state of mind comes in as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Look, you've got to want the ball. You have to want the ball, first and foremost. When you're going to catch it, you have to want it. If you're scared of it, if you're afraid of it, if you don't want to catch it, if you've dropped one earlier, you've got to get it in your head. Want to catch it.
Oh, what a masterclass from Simon Doull. So number one, know where your boundary is, keep a clear presence of mind, and you've got to want the ball.
I love it when they teach these drills, DG, and then manage to drop one dollies themselves, isn't it? That's all the fun.
I'm not quite sure Simon Doull, when he played, was fielding down on the boundary line. But one thing I must say, I mean, reflecting on that Pollard effort with the second catch, as a West Indian, most of us, we play basketball as well. And Karen Pollard has a lot of hang time when he jumps. For a big guy like him, he's able to have a lot of hang time. If you look at him completing this catch, he stays in the air for quite a while, completes the catch with one hand, he lands on the same spot, and then he has that sort of athleticism to throw the ball back in. So that helps with Karen Pollard being able to take catches like that one.
Just his awareness on where the boundary rope is, because that's one of the things that Aaron and Dooley were talking about. How important is that to know where your foot is?
Look, all this hanging time and getting in a position is different. But if you got a hands like that, have a look at that. He's already folded it. You can see half of the hand, which is bigger than my hand. So you got to understand that he's got such a big hand, and as Darren said, that played so much basketball, cricket, hang time, and then grabbing that ball. And then the most difficult bit is the presence of mind where I am in the air or after landing. Am I going to go out of the rope or when to throw ball back, and then of course keeping yourself balanced by going out and coming back. And there's so much involvement in this, and there's need a lot of practice. Never happened in our time, 100%.
Well, yeah, it does require a lot of practice, but we are building up nicely. It's Quetta Gladiators in action up against Multan Sultans, and we'll see you on the other side shortly. Great buzz here in the crowd as we're building up nicely for Quetta Gladiators taking on Multan Sultans. Now, we're loving the cricket on the field, but off the field, the players are having a bit of fun. Martin Guptill is trying to learn a bit of Urdu.
Hard work is key. Hard work is key to success. Well, there we go. Oh, I'm terrible at this game. It's like this one of those ones where it's better to ask for forgiveness. Not that one. I don't know, I haven't heard that one. Oh, I can't think of it. Do well. Well, I've got no idea. Oh, now I do know this one and I can't remember it. No, he's crying over. No, it's not coming. Is it like? Oh, no, he's crying over spilled milk or something. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I knew some of those either. So fair play to Martin Guptill, who did a really good job there. I've been joined by Sana Mir in the studio. Sana, big game for Quetta, big game for Multan in the sense that they can qualify in the top two. Quetta Gladiators need to win, and they need to win big. We've been discussing all of that. Your thoughts on the game today?
Absolutely. I think it's such a crucial game for both teams because Quetta will definitely want to win big. Like you say, a 100-run margin will give them a very big boost. But even 80-run margin and then Islamabad losing by 20 runs. So they'll still have to depend on Islamabad, the result there. But Multan, a lot is at stake for Multan Sultans as well. They have been patchy in this PSL. So definitely they would want to go into that qualifier, win one game and be in the finals.
Win the toss and do what? Because we saw a successful chase yesterday.
Well, 5 times both these teams, they've chased and they've only come up with 2 wins. So I think for Multan, they have done well batting first. But in these conditions here, you bat first, you bat second, you got to make sure your all-round game is on par to win.
All right, DG has given a very diplomatic answer. He's not given me a straight answer at all. Let's find out what happens at the Be-Love Network toss. It's over to Sikandar Bakht, who's out there with the 2 captains.
Welcome to the Be-Love Network toss, and it is match 28, a very important game for Quetta Gladiators, and of course even Multan Sultans can finish up in top 2. I've got the captains here and I've got our match referee Mr. Ali Naqvi. And who has the coin? You have the coin. Nawaz will flip the coin.
Head.
Head is the call.
That's tails.
And it is tails.
Batting hai.
Mike please. Nawaz क्या करेंगे?
हम पहले बॉलिंग करेंगे.
इक्वेशंस बहुत सारी हैं डिफरेंट जिससे आपके क्वालिफिकेशन बन सकती है. पहले ऑफ कोर्स जीतने की कोशिश करेंगे. सो क्या माइंडसेट है आज टीम का, क्या प्लानिंग है?
आई थिंक जो सिनेरियो बना हुआ है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली हम ये मैच खेलना चाहेंगे और कोशिश करेंगे कि जो डिमांड है हमारे लिए आगे प्लेऑफ्स में जाने के लिए उसके अकॉर्डिंग खेलें और मैच को जीतने की कोशिश करें.
पिछला मैच अच्छा गया, आपका मोमेंटम आपकी टीम के पास है, तो अपने आप को फुल अपॉर्चुनिटी देंगे आज?
जी बिल्कुल, मोमेंटम तो है, बट ये T20 गेम आपको पता है कि इट्स न्यू डे, तो दोबारा से चीज़ें जो अच्छी एग्जीक्यूट करनी पड़ेंगी और एक अच्छा मैच और अच्छी एनर्जी के साथ खेलना पड़ेगा.
यहाँ पे 240 भी कम पड़ रहे हैं, तो क्या माइंड में रखा हुआ है, क्योंकि बहुत सी इक्वेशंस हैं कि आप पहले बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं?
240 भी कम पड़ रहा है, इसलिए माइंड में कुछ नहीं रखा हुआ. तो बस यही है कि अच्छा न्यू डे है और अच्छी जो है लाइन लेंथ पे बॉलिंग करें और पहले बॉलिंग करें और उसको फिर जो अकॉर्डिंग टू सिनेरियो चेस करना होगा उसको उसके अकॉर्डिंगली करें.
चेंजेस इन द साइड? वी
हैव 4 चेंजेस.
4 चेंजेस. चलिए, गुड लक टू यू.
थैंक यू वेरी मच.
रिजवान, इट सीम्स लाइक आप पहले बैटिंग ही करना चाहते थे.
इस पिच पे आप कुछ भी एक्सेप्ट कर सकते हैं. मेरे ख्याल से कोई मैटर नहीं करता बैटिंग या बॉलिंग हो, क्योंकि अच्छी क्रिकेट खेलनी चाहिए, क्योंकि ये वही पिच होता है जब पे लाहौर की जैसे बॉलिंग समझी जा रही है कि तगड़ी है कि वो रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर ले जो रन वो चेस करते हैं.
अब पहले बैटिंग आ गई है आपकी, क्या क्योंकि यहाँ पे 240 भी कम पड़ रहा है, तो एज ए टीम बैटिंग फर्स्ट कोई स्कोर माइंड में रखेंगे?
नहीं, ऐसा कोई माइंड में नहीं रखना, क्योंकि हो रहा है 246, मगर अगर आप एक मैच देखें 209 वाला जो हमने 205 किया था, वो अभी तकरीबन हम जीत रहे थे, आखिर में लास्ट और अच्छा फिनिश नहीं हुआ. क्योंकि ऐसे पिचेस जैसे भी पिचेस हो, अगर आपके क्या कहते हैं प्लान पे बॉल करते हैं या प्लान पे बैटिंग करते हैं, क्योंकि क्रिकेट इतना आसान नहीं है, क्योंकि PSL टफ मुश्किल कंडीशन है. यहाँ पे जो प्लान के साथ अच्छा एग्जीक्यूट करेगा वही जो है ना मुश्किल टाइम देगा दूसरों को.
ओके, टीम चेंजेस?
हाँ, 2 चेंजेस.
चलिए, गुड लक.
Thank you.
Okay, so we know that Quetta have won the toss and they decided to bowl first. Speaking of bowling, I've got Waqar Yunus here. 240 is not enough. So what do we do?
Look, it is not enough, to be honest, because we have seen, you know, the centuries being scored and 200 plus runs is easy to chase down. So full marks to the ground staff. I mean, I think they deserve a big round of applause because this pitch has been outstanding. and it looks much better than what I've seen in the afternoon. The women game I thought, played really well, but I think it's going to play even better with these lights on. There's more sheen on the pitch. I mean, there's no grass on the pitch, but it comes onto the bat nicely, and the mindset of the batters is changed. I mean, in this Pindi leg, they're just coming in and being really, really positive.
So a quick one, Fruit. Bowlers have no escape whatsoever. What are the lengths you're looking at as a bowler? How do you save yourself from being hit away?
Look, any length is no length. Bowlers, bowlers have struggled here in Pindi. So I feel, for me, if I am a bowler here, I would say I'll go hard at the batters. Try to get his wicket. If he hits me for a couple of sixes, that's fine. But go hard, get some pace up, and maybe go those short deliveries, because there is a little bit of pace in this pitch. So if I can do that and fetch those early wickets, then I can put opposition under pressure. But otherwise, this pitch is what they say?
Run fest.
Yeah, they say it's a tough pitch for the bowlers to bowl on.
Good thing you retired.
I'm more than happy to be retired and not playing on this.
All right, you heard him. Bowlers, not much of an escape. It is going to be a run fest.
Yeah, Quetta Gladiators are backing themselves to chase any target down here. They have won the toss and they have elected to field first. Sana, 4 changes for Quetta Gladiators. That's like nearly half the team has been changed, but just in context of how big this game is, they need to get their balance right.
Absolutely, they need to get their balance right, and of course with bowling first, then they have to chase the target in 10 to 12 overs or 14 maximum overs. So I think they are just going there because with Darren told me like they've won once while setting the target and won twice while chasing the target. So they're out of 3 games, their probability of chasing is better.
I think also they're probably better off seeing a target in front of them. And you look at this Multan Sultans side and what they did last night in chasing that mammoth total. You feel that if they have to set a total, they wouldn't really show their full batting capacity. So I could understand why they've gone in this direction of bowling first.
And when you talk about Multan Sultans, DG, I mean, it's not just about Riley Russo. They've also got other players who can really hit some monstrous sixes. I'm talking about Tim David, the likes of... They've got plenty of options at their disposal.
Of course, and the good thing about it is they're not leaving it up to the guy who's batting lower down the order. You look at Riley Russo and what he's done. He scored 100, he scored a big half century. Tim David in his first match got a half century. Karen Pollard finally being promoted to number 4. He got a quick fire 50 in the run chase. So they have different players who are in top form and who they can rely on to win a match. So that makes them a very dangerous opposition team.
Let's not forget, we've also got David Miller, Kieran Pollard. I mean, this side is looking rather dangerous, and Quetta have an uphill task against Multan Sultans. We'll take a short break, and when we do come back, we'll have a closer look at the teams. Well, Quetta has won the toss and they have elected to field first. A couple of changes for Multan Sultans. DG, what do you make of the side?
It's a very good all-round side, very balanced with their batting and bowling. Usman Khan comes into the side. Last season he played for Quetta and he replaces Shan Maqsood. So that opening partnership now broken. But the middle, the power is there. Riley Russo, Karen Pollard, Tim David, they are very good with hitting the ball out the park, scoring runs. They're in good form as well. Kushdil Shah gives that all-round ability to the side. So too Anwar Ali and Osama Mir, he's been a wicket taker. And let's not forget the 2 fast bowlers. Isanullah, the leading wicket taker in the tournament, closely followed by Abbas Afridi. Both are genuine wicket takers for this side.
What about Quetta Gladiators? 4 changes for Quetta Gladiators. Looks like a different team altogether, Sana.
Absolutely, and that's what has been happening with Quetta. They have been inconsistent with their selection. Umair plays 1 match, doesn't perform, gets dropped. Now he's back again in that top order, Umair bin Yusuf. And definitely they are taking some pace off. So Qais Ahmed comes in, the wrist spinner. Umaid Asif, a very utility all-rounder. He finds a place in the team. And Naveenul Haq from Afghanistan, he finds a place in the team. So they are a good top 7, like they've got batting till 7 and then they have Umaid Asif. It's only about clicking in all 3 departments that they can actually have an impact.
Well, there's one guy from Multan Sultans we're talking about who had a good day out in the field. You know, difficult conditions to bowl on when you talk about Pindi Cricket Stadium, but he took 4 wickets in that last game and it was pretty special. I'm talking about Abbas Afridi.
Down the ground, should only be one. What a victory! In the end, should have been comfortable.
मैं पिशावर से बिलोंग करता हूँ और मैंने 2014 में क्रिकेट स्टार्ट की। उस 2016 में फिर अंडर 16 ज्वाइन किया। उसके बाद आहिस्ता आहिस्ता अंडर 19 में आ गया, वर्ल्ड कप खेला अंडर 19 का। उसके बाद मेरा ये PSL। इज़ अ यंगस्टर, इज़ अ इमर्जिंग प्लेयर। हमारी टीम में 2 खेल रहे हैं, मैं और एहसान। मेरे लिए बहुत फ़ख्र की बात है कि मैं और टीम का हिस्सा हूँ।
This could be out. This could be out. Brilliant! Brilliant! Outstanding! A big man diving in front.
रोज़ाना ग्राउंड में हो या इधर होटल में हो, अपने फिटनेस पे काम कर रहा हूँ साथ में। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बॉडी भी साथ दे रही। हर बैट्समैन का अलग सा टेक्निक होता है। अभी लेफ्टी राइटी दोनों के लिए मैं राइटी के लिए मैं बैकवर्ड हैंड करता हूँ, लेफ्टी के लिए कटर करता हूँ। अभी जैसे कि एहसानुल्लाह उसके पास पेस है, जैसे मेरे स्किल्स है बैक ऑफ द हैंड स्लो वन, और उसमें मैं ज़्यादा रहता हूँ।
Slower ball, straight to the man, straight to Kyron Pollard.
जी मेरे लिए तो बहुत खुशी की बात है कि मैं बड़े नामों के साथ बैठता हूँ, और जैसे रिजवान भाई हो गए, फॉरेन स्टार हमारे हैं, उसके साथ ड्रेसिंग रूम शेयर करके बहुत मज़ा आता है और बहुत चीज़ों भी सीखने को मिलता है। वो गपशप भी लगाते हैं, हंसी मजाक सब कुछ करते हैं।
Well, he's been taken under the wing of Umar Gul, the legendary fast bowler. He's the nephew of Umar Gul as well, so I'm sure he's getting plenty of expertise from somebody like him. We used to call him the Gulldozer, Sana Umar Gul, when you talk about his Yorkers, but this guy was pretty impressive in that last game. We're talking about these tracks, it's never easy to be bowling out there.
Absolutely, he's got the experience, he understands the game really well because he has initial days, he has worked a lot with Umar Gul. And there are a lot of similarities in the personalities also, very humble, very down to earth, and he has got a lot of variations, different variations for the right-handers. It's back of the hand for the right-handers and cutters for the left-handers. So he has got all the experience and he is delivering at the top level.
DG, just as a bowler, I know this is a tough one, but we heard MI2T talk about the golden nugget yesterday, where you need to be bowling in these conditions. What have you made out so far from whatever we've seen? Where should you be bowling as a bowler in these conditions?
Well, it's very difficult to say that there's one particular spot. I mean, you wouldn't get a bowler hitting that spot all the time. And even if you had a bowler hitting that optimal spot, then you kind of telegraphing to the batter that this is where I'm bowling and they can counter it. So for me, I think it's that element of surprise as a bowler. You can't be predictable. Whether you choose to go short and into the batter's head or you go slow outside the off stump, you've got to find out and create that element of surprise. I think the great thing about Abbas Afridi is that he understands the process of wicket taking, which is crucial. So he knows when to bowl the back of the hand slow ball, the conventional slow ball. He knows when to bowl the pace on deliveries. And that's why he's been such a good wicket taker for this Multan Sultans team. I think, 17 wickets just behind his Sanola. But I just feel they can use him differently. They've used him in the back end of the innings. He can impact the innings more at the start, so they control the game.
Well, thank you so much for your thoughts, DG and Sanamir. We're only moments away from all the live action. Quetta Gladiators are bowling first, and we're expecting lots and lots of runs. That's what we've seen on the Pindi ground.